These flyers have been posted all around the city of Rome. The path of destruction came through the north side, the driver traveling southbound. Well, Rod, we just heard from a police officer on the scene moments ago that a child has been hit by some sort of vehicle. Well, Dan, just look at the snowbank right here. It is double my height. It is massive. And then determined to send out the plows or to dig into this giant mound of salt. This is a portable bag of water. They put it on just like a backpack and then can spray it right on hot spots. This march is headed to the public safety building where Syracuse police are. We just left Washington Street and are now headed to State Street. To make sure your glasses will protect your eyes next Monday, make sure its manufacturer or seller is on the approved list. I'm going to start my iPhone timer, and I'm actually going to see how long it takes the GPS system to work. I'm going to put in the address. It's easy to get your hands on as a toy, and it's a lot of fun to use. Just open your Facebook app, put in the title, and hit go live. Then it will count you down. 3, 2, 1. And now we're live on Facebook to vote yes. Now, we've also heard from Elise Stefanik from the North Country. She's breaking with her party. She's going to vote no on tomorrow's plan as it stands right now. Her office tells me she's working to address SALT concerns. The only representative undecided tonight, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. She gets a question mark right now. From your local election headquarters, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9. The podium is set here in the Grand Ballroom for Ben Walsh to speak later tonight. She implied that you may not understand her life. How do you combat that?
It almost sounds like you're not denying those criticisms, though. You're embracing them.
Do you think the ideas are too different to attract the voters? What do your numbers tell about your story right now? But there is still some anxiety, that uncertainty that maybe the Mets will move the team down the road. News Channel 9's sports director Stephen Fani has been with me at the field all day. Steve, what are you hearing? Should fans be nervous? They are the grand marshals of the daily parade here through the fairgrounds. You can see we're moving with them. The truck is slowing down, so I'm going to hop off. I'm going to talk to you guys while we're moving. What's your name?
Connor Rush.
I had so much fun with this assignment, but I wanted to bring back some things to share with you. This is the cookie dough, but they have different flavors too. This is classic chocolate chip, Carrie, which I think you want to try. Carrie, have some Cuse juice with your egg roll.
As you can imagine, it was panic. People had no idea what was going on. They heard the gunshots and saw the body. I spoke with one Liverpool graduate who says her first Thanksgiving Eve out in Armory Square will be her last.
The whole bar is packed, like there's people in the streets, everybody's just having a good time.
Lauren Ward's fun night out with girlfriends had just ended. She was walking on Walton Street, heading home.
All of a sudden we heard the gunshots and everybody just froze.
Most ran away, but Lauren did the opposite. Your first instinct was to run toward danger. Have you ever had to do that before?
No. I just wanted to help. Somebody was hurt and my heart was with them and I wanted to do what I could do.
Lauren joined officers trying to save Jonathan Diaz. She did CPR as blood gushed from his chest.
When I looked in his eyes, I didn't see any life behind his eyes. And his vision of his face is burned into my brain forever. And it's something that when I close my eyes, it's what I'm seeing. That's why I wasn't able to sleep last night. There were other people, other bystanders that jumped in to help. It wasn't just me. The lady that sells roses down here all the time threw her roses and ran over and tried to get a pulse on him and tried to help. There was some guy who was in medical school that tried to help. All the police officers, everybody just banded together and tried to do the best we could for somebody that none of us even knew. I just want his family and friends to know that he didn't die alone and that there were people that cared and that we tried to do everything that we could for him. And I'm just sorry that it wasn't enough.
In downtown Syracuse, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9.
And when President Donald Trump settles into the White House, a package from Central New York will be waiting for him.
One local company wants its forks and spoons in the dining room at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. As News Channel 9's Andrew Donovan shows us, if President Trump wants those products made in America, he can only get them from Sherrill Manufacturing.
Dear Mr. President, congratulations on your election victory this past November.
Two Central New Yorkers with a message for Donald Trump.
It is our hope that you will forward these samples.
It's not political, just a simple gift.
We are honored to present you with a sample place setting of our flatware which is 100% made in the United States.
A reminder for Trump to follow his commitment, made again in his inaugural address.
We will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores.
A story this factory knows too well. The former home of Oneida Limited finally coming back to life.
After decades of industry-wide offshoring,
we are the only manufacturer of flatware left in the United States.
And they think the only flatware appropriate for the president.
It's the patriotic thing to do, is to have our product in the White House.
The people at Sherrill Manufacturing embrace patriotism wherever they can, from their product's name, Liberty Tabletop, to their boxes with American flags. But their focus isn't only made in America, their priority is made in Central New York.
The buffing compound that we polish with comes from Utica, New York. The boxes come from Earlville Paper Box in Earlville, New York.
Ties they hope get Trump's attention. The first president from New York in 84 years. Soon he'll get this package from Central New York.
It seems only fitting that you, your family, visiting guests and dignitaries should dine
with fine flatware that is made right here in the United States of America.
For this company, it would be the best cabinet choice of all time. This is not a far-fetched request. The U.S. government is already one of Sherrill Manufacturing's biggest customers, mostly the military, but what's used in the White House is up to the new president, Christy.
Well, Andrew, other than the sample, how else can Sherrill Manufacturing get President Trump's attention?
Well, their location in New York might help them. There's some big players in New York, starting with the minority leader of the Senate, Chuck Schumer. Also, Claudia Tenney, the newly elected congresswoman. She's visited Sherrill Manufacturing as an assemblywoman, and I actually spoke to her a few minutes ago. She's at the inauguration. She texted Kellyanne Conway, a member of Trump's transition team, about Sherrill Manufacturing to say, you need this in the White House. And we know that Trump loves Twitter, so the owners of Sherrill Manufacturing will hope this story, our story, goes viral and perhaps gets the attention of Donald Trump on social media.
All right, we'll see what happens. Andrew, thank you.
Well, there are already signs of new life tonight in the fields burned by the massive brush fire in Kirkville last week.
Most would say the flames destroyed 100 acres of land, but tonight News Channel 9's Andrew Donovan explains why it was the best thing that could happen to the Kirkville environment.
The flames were seen far across central New York, but Tom Gorman had a front row seat from his yard.
I used to look at, a nice golden field, and now it's a black field.
Part of his property now ash, but he doesn't mind.
Fires almost help growth.
Yeah, they clear out the vegetation. It's like pruning in the backyard.
Tom Horton teaches about forest fires and how they're good for the ecosystem.
For too many years, like 100 years, we have put them all out immediately. And that creates incredible fuel loads where once a fire starts, it just burns like crazy.
Controlled burns happen in other places. The less brush, the smaller the flames.
For the next 10 to 15, 20 years, this whole stretch will never reignite. Or if it does, it's just going to peter right out.
Neighbors who don't like the view of acres and acres of black fields won't have to wait too long. The professor says the entire area will be green within a month, and there's already evidence of it happening as these green tender plants are sprouting through the ash layer.
The hottest fire still only penetrates about an inch deep.
Underneath, fertile roots, seeds, and wildlife ready to come back.
Look at that little guy. Now that shouldn't have survived, right? But it did.
This teacher will bring students here, but says the more we all learn about fires, the better we can deal with them. In Kirkville, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9.